Well, Republican Party leaders are already solidly behind Vivek Ramaswamy for the 2026 race for Ohio governor, but Democrats in the state are still in flux.
Dr. Amy Acton is the only declared candidate, but former Senator Sherrod Brown is also said to be considering a run, as is former Youngstown area Congressman Tim Ryan. Ryan says he is still undecided, but in his first television interview about the race and his decision making, he sat down with our Colleen Marshall.
Tim Ryan is not yet a candidate, but he certainly sounds like one. He says Ohio Democrats must rebrand and must bring new ideas and people to the forefront. He points to voter support for Democrat ideas, the marijuana initiative and women's choice vote here that got overwhelming support. But Democrats themselves have not been winning statewide races.
So I think on many of the issues, the people of Ohio are aligned with Democrats. But then you put the D by the name and say, oh, this person's going to go work with Chuck Schumer. Then the whole dialogue changes at that point. So I think we need a complete rebrand. We need something like what happened with Bill Clinton in '92, where he came in, he took on some of the extremists in the party, got the message back to welfare reform, economics, working class people, went into rural areas, and we won. And then, you know, that was some of the largest economic growth we've ever had in the country. Rich people made money. Poor people moved up the economic ladder. That's what you can get with a balanced economic policy that's not democratic socialism and not kind of crony capitalism. We got to get back to that, because to me, that's why I'm a Democrat. And I think a lot of people feel like the Democratic Party left them, you know?
You talked about the party going too extreme, being maybe too liberal. So there's a big question about the future of DEI. Where do you stand on that?
Well, we got to appreciate diversity, but it can't drive the entire argument, because, you know, black people need jobs, gay people need jobs, women need jobs. Everybody needs a good paying job. So let's start talking about, in the country, what's going to lift everybody up. And that unifying principle is economics. But everyone should have an opportunity to participate in economic growth. And I think that's ultimately been the problem.
Ryan says we did free trade, globalization, and automation, but even when the country generated trillions of dollars in wealth, money was not reinvested in places like Youngstown, Steubenville, and Portsmouth. He said a new round of tax breaks is coming for the wealthy, but most Americans are being left behind. And he will make his decision on whether to run sometime this summer.
Now, Colleen is going to have much more from Tim Ryan in an extended interview that's coming up Sunday morning at 10 on The Spectrum.